Aboutdre peoples, you already know what time it is. It is a review, but it is also a discussion. It is also a moment of just like sitting back and just like, damn. This is the Britney versus Spears documentary. I never thought I'd be doing something like this for my channel, but I'm happy I am, and I feel like it's a much needed topic. But before we get into this video, I need you guys to please like. It helps with the channel, it helps this video, it helps my channel. And also please, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. And tell your friends, tell your mama that Aboutdre got something to say. And I'm ready to get into this because it's a lot. Britney versus Spears is a documentary on Netflix. It is discussing the events that led to Britney Spears becoming into this very crazy conservatorship and questioning and exposing what happened and why she's still in it to this day after 13 years. Immediately after watching this documentary, the first thing I noticed was that all of the people that Britney Spears seemed to trust were people who was just like the everyday guy, the average guy. It was never anyone in power. It was never anyone in her industry. It was never anyone that was like her as far as career choices. And what that made me realize was that this documentary was way more than just about her conservatorships and her journey. It also put a spotlight on how neglectful our media has become and how it has become kind of like the same people that the media is supposed to be keeping in check. They're now kind of like in the shadows, in the background, sipping tea and having wine with them, and they're all working together. Because this documentary was completely created by people who, I don't know if they're necessarily journalists, but they're not the people that's on CNN. They're not the people on ABC. They're not the people on NBC. They're not even the people on Fox News, which I don't think they will ever do. But they weren't the people who went to school for this, who pledged an oath to get to the truth. No, this story wouldn't even existed if it wasn't for her fans. So what did that tell you? Is that our media, the people that we trust, not only do they shape how we view things and how we react to things, but they also keep us blinded from issues that should be talked about, that issues that needs to be exposed. Because this exposed a legal system, a very jacked up legal system that's in California and maybe other states. It exposed how certain group of people can just get away with things and nothing ever happens to them. Because I want to know what's going to happen to her dad, what's going to happen to these lawyers. Like, what is it? Now, I'm not saying, I don't know we don't know the full story. I don't even know if Britney have any real mental issues. But what I do know is a person with dementia, never heard of a person with dementia or early stages of dementia go on like 8,000 tours and do like 1 billion shows, make all this money, dance, do all the choreography and everything, write the music. That don't add up. Maybe a doctor can explain it better than I can, but to me, that don't add up. What makes this documentary very important is that it is putting a spotlight on not just this issue, but I feel like more issues. Because oftentimes, I feel like we call these things out, and then we always expect like a big revolution or change coming from these issues when we put a spotlight on these things. And then I feel like eventually we go back to our old ways. Like, I see this, a lot of what was going on with Britney is happening with, like, for instance, Meghan Markle. We often try to defeat this monster, but then that monster comes back in a different form or in a different disguise, and we're still finding that we're thinking that we're fighting a new monster, but it's exactly the same monster that we thought we destroyed eons ago. And until we recognize that, I don't know if there ever was going to be any real change from this. I feel like Britney will come out of this, but I'm afraid who is going to be the next person. And I brought up Meghan Markle because I see so much of what happened in the beginning of this with Britney is like happening in this beginning of Meghan Markle. I can't really judge this documentary on just based off of just like, oh, if it's good or bad. I don't really feel like that's fair. I feel like how it needs to be judged is the fact that this is a very important topic, because this person, Britney Spears, is one of like the biggest pop stars in the world, that's of all time. Like, if you're a millennium, you like Britney Spears song. I don't care what you say. Everybody, especially millennials, like a Britney Spears song. So just the fact that alone, that she's the biggest artist of all, one of the biggest artists of all time, and this can happen to her, what it leaves the rest of the people that's on these conservatorships, or the rest of the people that's getting abused by those in power, it's scary. So for me, I personally can't say if this documentary was good or not, because it did its job, and it did its job where I feel like the other parts of the media where you feel like would expose this would have did. Because now what you're seeing, like the same people who should have exposed this years ago and questioned this are now reporting it, and they're outraged about it. Guys, the documentary is on Netflix right now. It's very informative and disturbing. How so many people who were supposed to be there for her was there for just money, and it was abuse of power. It's so many layers to this story. It's so tragic, and guys, check it out, and tell me what you think. Leave a comment, and I catch you next time, guys. Peace.